back to those two geeks. He's Alex. I'm Joe. It feels like forever, but really it's only been about 2 weeks, I believe. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah. It's folks. We're going to apologize in advance. There's going to be some background music vaguely heard in the background. We're going to do our best to take it out, talk over it,
try to talk over
or
it,
whatever.
because I woke up in Coachella this morning underneath.
Yeah.
So bad.
It's tough because every time we stop to try and get a sample so that we can try and take it out, it seems to stop, and it just comes every so often whenever we're actually talking. So, and Joe hears it all the time, so I'm trying to judge when I can get him to stop talking so I can listen to it for a bit and get rid of it.
But it's just continuous. I say we just talk over it, and if anyone in the audience,
we apologize.
Just let us know. We apologize in advance.
Yeah, like I said, we'll do what we can to get rid of it, but it's annoyingly awkward to try and catch it. So we wanted to let you know we've been trying a couple of different things. It doesn't matter to you. We're later starting than we intended because we've been trying to sort that out. Yep. But anyway, it hasn't happened, or at least it hasn't happened yet. Maybe by the time you listen to this, we figured it out, and you're wondering what we're talking about. So,
right.
Yeah.
So welcome back.
Welcome to whomever is picking us up on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever. I believe we are now on multiple different platforms instead of just SoundCloud and the Graphic Policy website. So it's an oddly exciting moment, I guess, for us in that we're in more than one place. I don't know if you heard that.
Your cat?
Yeah,
I totally heard that.
That was Quincy. Walter, Quincy's in the window. I didn't know he was in there. And Walter came up to try and join him, and Quincy didn't know he was there, and that's what happened. So, believe it or not,
it wasn't Brady interrupting the show for once.
No, I think that was actually Quincy's first appearance on the show too.
I think so too.
So anyway, Quincy and Walter actually get on really well. It's just Quincy doesn't like being surprised by anyone.
Sure.
Anyway.
So you went to Florida. You went to Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
You went to Disney. You had a magical trip. But the part I want to skip to, because we know the Disney stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get, I got a little bit of a taste from your texts and whatnot, but I need to know, take me through Star Wars. Take me through what you felt. Did I oversell it?
No, I don't think you did. I think I've seen it. I think this is the second time I've seen it now, maybe. So I'm not sure. But it's you definitely you can't really explain what it's like when you walk in there. You know in the back of your head it's just a theme park, an area in a theme park, right? Logically, I know that.
Yeah.
But the cast members that are there, the Disney park staff, they're just so into the roles that they have to play. I'm going to call them cast members, folks, because I'm sure you're aware, but if you're not, Disney considers anything that is in the public see as the show, which is why you'll often see them say backstage for behind the scenes, that kind of stuff. Right. Hence the cast members being members of the cast putting on the show is my understanding of their logic. Anyway, the cast members who are out front, the vendors that are selling stuff, the people taking photographs, in the lineups, waiting to try and get you into whatever ride it is you want to go on. Mm-hmm. Just know what they're doing so well. And it's really, I know the word I want to use, immersive. It's really immersive.
There you go. That's the one that you should use. Yeah.
I'm not even cutting that out. It's really immersive in how it is, how it's presented. And you can. Did you hear that one?
I heard it.
Okay, that was Walter. Okay. You can really articulate how immersive it is, considering really you're just walking through a slightly different designed area. Logically, I know it's all concrete. everything is very, very well man-made, very crafted. But when you're looking at it, like I remember being sat down at one point, and we were just kind of taking a break, and I was looking around like, I know this is just painted concrete, but it looks like rock that has been stained by oil, by bits and pieces. It looks like the crumbling parts of these rocks are natural. It's naturally happening, not like it's the detail that they put in. And I mean, the detail they put in any of the theme park areas like that is insane. But I think you notice it, or I noticed it so much more with Star Wars because it's still such a new area that all of the weathering effects have to be man-made. It's not like, oh, is there a bit of moss growing here? That's probably, if it's not meant to be there, they're probably leaving it there because it fits their aesthetic.
Yeah, so like for us, like you grew up as a kid, like since you're like 2 and 3, you know what Mickey Mouse is.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go to the Magic Kingdom, you expect Mickey Mouse. Like it doesn't feel out of place. It feels like you don't feel immersed. You feel like you're just walking around in a place that has Mickey Mouse, and it's very beautiful and it's awesome. But when you're in Galaxy's Edge, at least for me, it's immersive was the best word you could choose. But it's like so surreal that you have to like remind yourself that you're not on the set of a movie filming currently.
Yeah.
That you're not part of the show because you just feel so it's basically like a sci-fi Renaissance fair, but amped up to like 11.
That's a really good way of putting it. Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it.
Because I used to go to King Richard's Fair all the time here. And that's a similar type of aesthetic where, you have the kingdom and all that stuff. And, you have the knights and the jousting. And I can hear that. It is so loud now. I'm going to talk over it. But, like, basically you have all that. But this is Star Wars. It's a property that you are familiar with, that you love. It's very hard, like, for me especially, when you just walk in and the very first thing you see is the AT-AT. It's like, it just takes you to a different world. You're like, wow.
The crazy thing is that the AT-AT in front of Star Tours isn't actually in Galaxy's Edge. It's away enough that you walk in and oh man, this is crazy. And that's also not a new construction, right? That's been there
for a long time.
A long time. Like I remember it's been there, I don't know, at least 10 years.
Yeah, at least, but
probably more. And so you're looking at like, man, that's insane. That's really cool. And you can go through Star Tours if you want to do that. And the detail in there is really good. Like the droids that are kind of stood there in storage and what have you. It's so good.
When you see like the land speeders and everything outside, the X-Wing really took me in when like I saw the X-Wing and I was like, holy shit. Now, did you do Smuggler's Run with the Millennium Falcon or just Rise of the Resistance?
I did. So I did Smuggler's Run, Rise of the Resistance, and Star Tours.
Okay, what job did you get on Smuggler's Run? Did you get a good job?
No, I got the engineer, and it was
same, man. That shit sucks.
Like I have
just back and press the yellow button.
Yeah, I've done the pilot before, and that's
what I wanted.
The pilot is fun.
Yeah, dude. Like, so the one thing I'll say, it's the only blip besides.
I actually. So yeah, carry on.
Go.
No, I was gonna say I actually.
God damn it! We gotta get our rhythm back.
All right, 1,
2, 3, go.
I'm gonna let you talk, and then I'll say what I want to say.
Okay, all right. So the only blip I have is that's probably the one I'm most comfortable with. Is like you have to press the yellow button. In the back is the engineer, but if your pilot sucks, like mine was like a 9-year-old, the button doesn't match what the pilot's doing, so it's like off sync, and it takes you out of your experience.
Yeah.
Like I just basically stopped pressing the button and just watched what was in front of me and enjoyed it because I was like, this is pointless.
So I actually, as I've said, I've been the pilot before, and I really enjoyed that when I was the pilot. It was a fantastic ride. The other pilot, because one pilot goes up and down, and one goes left and right. Yeah. And the guy that was with me had never met him before. I know he was hearing impaired, and yet we had figured out a rhythm where we could communicate just kind of on instinct, and
That's cool.
and so we had a really smooth flight. It was a lot of fun. And this time when we went through again, the pilot was at most 8 years old and just held the one going up and down was his dad, and he was fine. But the one going left and right just sat there and just kept going left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right the entire trip. I'm like, this ride is either, because when I did it, I had a lot of fun. When Mandy did it with me, she's like, I'm never doing that again. It was awful. I am never ever doing that.
Went on this time?
Yeah, because we went on.
Yeah, it was not
with
fun
the kid.
when Anand and I did it.
And she's like, I am never doing that ride again. So I think that, I mean, I don't want to say kids can't be the pilot, but at the same time, like,
just say kids can't be the pilot. It's very true.
Yeah, like it's almost like, and especially if you're like, oh, do you want to go with this group? No, I want to be a pilot. I'm willing to wait for the next group because I can get motion sickness and yada yada yada. So
yeah, yep.
Like like being the pilot is the most fun in that ride. Anything else, like all you're doing is hitting a button. Whether you're the gunner, you're hitting a button. You're not aiming at anything. You're just hitting a button. Exactly. And there's a strange dichotomy there because you can have a great time on the ride as the pilot because you're interacting with it, but for everything else, you're like, I'm just going to hit the button. Like I think Mandy is like she at some point she's like, I'm just giving up. Like she's like, the pilot was
not fun. You just go, okay, when's the 9 minutes over?
Yeah, like the pilot was awful. And she started to get like, she doesn't get motion sickness that often, but the way he just kept swinging it left and right and it kept vibrating left and right. And it just wasn't good. Yeah. And so she's like, at that point, I just had to look at the floor and I could deal with a little bit of rocking back and forth, but it wasn't a fun ride.
No, and it's unfortunate. So I think when I speak for me, but the most fun about Smuggler's Run, in all honesty, was just the walkthrough.
Yeah, agreed.
I fucking adored the walkthrough. I did Star Tours after I did Smuggler's Run. I did Star Tours after too, and I did that years ago, but I did it right after Smuggler's Run this time as well.
And so this year when I did it, it was clearly set around the episode 8 and 9. I think it was probably set around the end of episode 9 because at the end.
Okay, yeah, mine was the prequels.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah. I was like, I might do that again. I enjoyed that more than Smuggler's Run.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like I said, the walkthrough of Smuggler's Run is wonderful.
Fantastic.
The spend all day in there.
Yeah, I would rather do a walkthrough of Smuggler's Run, assuming you could just walk through and take your time. There's no line that you got to wait through.
Yeah,
like walk through Smuggler's Run, and then just leave. Like I don't need to do the ride.
Exactly how I feel too.
Right, and that's what's so crazy about it is that I don't need to do the ride again, but I would go through the Millennium Falcon.
Walk through. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I took hundreds of pictures in there, but the thing was I think for me, I'm glad I did Smuggler's Run first. Then Rise of the Resistance blew me away.
Oh, Rise is so good.
Rise of the Resistance is the greatest thing I've ever been on.
Yeah.
Still, you were talking from the engineering standpoint, I'm still trying to figure out how they do the lightsaber rescue.
And when you're in
it feels so real, man.
It does. Yeah.
So real.
I think
sparks and everything. Wow.
There's so much engineering. So this time we went through. So if you haven't done Rise of the Resistance, we're not a video podcast. We're not gonna, not yet. I'm not gonna put video in it right here of that. Just look up Rise of the Resistance on YouTube. I'm not going to tell you how to search it. You'll know what to search.
It's wonderful.
It's brilliant. There are so many good ride-throughs. If 4K WDW has one, look at that because whoever that is phenomenal with their cuts. But you can see you walk into you go through, get your briefing, go outside, walk into a spaceship. And then the next thing you know, you go out the same door and
Oh God.
it's in like you're in just this
100 first order
unbelievable.
stormtroopers,
It's
and
unbelievable,
it's like
and
breathtaking. That
and
is
like
the thing that sticks in my brain for the entire
and
thing.
and
Is
you
that
walk
scene of the doors opening?
and so you walk out and you're like, how the hell did I get here? And
Mm-hmm.
it took me so long to realize that the spaceship you walk in, the room that you're in, rotates. It
Yeah,
it's so simple. It just rotates so that you walk
but
into
you
the
feel
building on the
like you
other
were on
side.
a trolley or you were on a
But
train for about
yeah,
five
but
minutes. Yeah.
you don't. That's just like you feel like you're moving around left and right, but it's like at the same time, it's not
Yeah.
like it's so well done. It's
They
so
do
well
such a
done.
great job. And like right from the get-go, I've never seen a hologram in front of me
Mm-mm.
like in the movies, but when you get the hologram of Rey, like I was looking around for glass and like I'm like, well, how are they doing this? And it was
It,
just like so
do you
cool.
do you want to know how they do it?
Yes, please.
There is a pane of glass that it's projected onto, but you can
Oh
only
fuck.
see if you're right up close, almost to the underneath it. Because
Okay, I will
if
see
you're
this.
almost directly underneath it,
Yeah.
you can see the glass. But if you're in any other position, you can't. The glass is so clean you cannot see it.
Yep. I couldn't. It felt like it was just a straight up hologram, and I
Mm-hmm.
was so cool with it. So
Yep.
that set the tone, and I said, "Holy shit!" And then you get Kylo Ren and whatever. I mean, the dialogue is just part like theme park dialogue, no big deal. But it's still Adam Driver doing Kylo Ren.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
that
Oh
was the
yeah.
thing that threw me was you get Daisy Ridley doing the hologram,
You get
like instead of someone acting as her.
Oscar Isaac in it as well, right? Like
Yeah.
you get the actual character, they've
Do
got
you
the
get
actual
Finn? I think you get
characters,
Finn.
the voice. You get Finn's voice, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you get his voice, it's Kylo Ren, the general, it's him as well. Like there's
It
just
is.
so
So,
many, it's so good. Like it's unbelievable the
and
detail that's in there.
they are such geniuses the way they market too, because as soon as you walk out the other end of every ride, there's
Mm-hmm.
like a big not a store, but like a huge rack or like a
There's
den or like a
yeah,
little
there's
alcove.
always anything like that.
There's
There's
always
always
something,
something that, oh, I'll buy that because that ride was
and
amazing.
it's cool because it's not always
Yeah.
the same thing. Like
No,
I like how
exactly.
you walk out of Rise the Resistance, and it's like basically all the X-wing fighter helmets
Mm-hmm.
and things like that, and they're really well. They're way better than the Hasbro ones. Way better. I picked
100%.
them up,
Yeah.
and they're cheaper than the Hasbro ones, which I
Which
thought
is
was weird.
insane. Yeah.
But I don't think they have electronics because I never felt. Yeah, I don't think they have electronics. I think they're just like wearable, but they look so much better. They have the weathering and all that kind. They don't feel plasticky. They look
Mm-hmm.
really nice. The only thing that they don't have because they're smart is they don't have like lightsabers right when you get off. You have to go to Doc Endar's Den of Antiquities to get
Which I
those.
actually think is really good because it kind of keeps the theming of the world in that
Yeah.
you're doing a resistance mission and not everyone would have a lightsaber. So then you've got to go to
Yeah.
this place where you can get the underground lightsabers.
Yeah. And then when you go down by the performance stage, like
Mm.
when the First Order is down doing their announcements or whatever, all the way at the other end of the park, like they have the First Order basically based shop where it's all
Yeah.
stormtrooper based, and it's cool. Like the only thing is like I'm gonna go back again. I'm hoping to go back in late June, but if not August, I need to go see Doc Endar's Den of Antiquities, like the whole thing,
Mm.
because last time they wouldn't let me turn around. Like they kept like it was like the Gestapo. You paid for your
Yeah.
thing. They're like, do not
Yeah.
look
'Cause
behind you.
there was something in there, right, that was coming out.
Yeah, I was super pissed. I was like, "Are you guys refusing money?" I'm like, I'm a nerd, right? Like, the
I'll,
chances are I'm gonna
I'll,
turn around and see something and buy it even more.
I'll buy anything and
They're like, "Oh,
everything in this room.
yeah." They're like, "You got to go," and I was like, "All right." So,
I get
but
it.
I loved it. I read yesterday, as a matter of fact, it's ironic now that you're back. They're closing down the Galaxy Cruiser, which was the hotel
I
type
was
thing.
going to ask you that. Yeah, I was going to ask if you had
Yeah, so it's closing in September. Honestly, I don't think I'd ever be interested in that. The
I
pricing alone is insane.
so here's my thoughts on it. I would have loved to have done it,
Yeah,
but I didn't want to spend that much
it's like
money.
$1,500 a person for a night or
It,
something.
Yeah, so it works out. I think it's 40, almost $5,000 US for two nights, 2.5 days.
Fuck that. No way.
And the whole idea of it is fantastic.
It is.
The whole idea of it is fantastic. I love the thought of it. I love the work that they've put into it. I think that the cast members, from what I've seen, the cast members doing, telling the story, the actors, unbelievable. I understand why it's priced that high, or I get why they think it needs to be priced that high, because they've got to pay the actors,
Yeah,
right? Like they're
I
paying the
get it,
actors
but
basically
still.
2.5 days straight, I would assume, because
Yeah.
I'm sure that even at 3 a.m. there's something going on if you're walking around.
Right. Yeah. No, I get it. In
I get,
theory on that, but still.
yeah, like I get it, but I think
I'm not paying that.
no, and I think they priced it probably about 1,000. Like if they could have priced it any lower, they should have, because
They absolutely should have.
and I think they could have priced it lower given that the discounts they're offering, right?
Yeah.
So if they'd have been able to price it a bit lower, I think that you would have had more people go in, because there's only one person I have seen who has actually paid to go more than once.
Really?
And as far as he knows, it's Tom Corliss from WDW News Today. He loves it. He absolutely loves the cruiser. He's given a couple of reviews for it, but he said
must love it because he's been on it twice.
3 times.
Holy shit! 15 grand. That's crazy.
Yeah, he wants to go on it again. But again, like I'm going to assume that he can write it off for tax purposes based on the fact
I'm gonna assume
he
too.
can,
Yeah.
like he can do
Business,
a review for it. Yeah, so that's what my assumption is. However, he did pay for it initially himself.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could have priced it a bit lower, you probably would have gotten more nerds to go. Because it's clearly geared to Star Wars fans. Like you and I are the kind of people that they want to get to do this, but realistically, for the price that it is, it's not worth. It's just
they have to lower it.
that, yeah, and I think that, like, I remember talking to somebody about it, and they had said that unfortunately at the end of the day, they can't really convert it to a standalone hotel because there's no windows, right? Like there's fire codes that you've got to adhere to. There's
I get that.
So yeah, I don't know. Like I think it's a shame.
I
It is a shame.
just can't. I can't do it. I don't think it's worth it. Like I
and
I would rather go to like Japan.
Right. Like for the money that you're going to spend going for 2 nights there, like even if you don't factor in the flights, if you're just factoring in where you're going for 2 nights, for $5,000, I could spend a hell of a lot more time in Florida. I can go to California, New York.
Yeah, exactly.
Could do so much more for $5,000 than 2.5 nights there.
You can get Hulk 181, like a decent copy.
Right? Like, that's just it. Like there are so many more things I could do with $5,000 than now. Is it an experience that I wanted to have? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Am I
Hulk
sad?
Will love you forever.
Exactly. So. Right. Like, am I sad that I won't ever get to do Galaxy's Edge? Not really, because I was never expecting to do it. Now, if someone had said, "Hey, we're going to send you here for free. Do you want to go?" I'm not going to say no.
Well,
right?
yeah,
Like,
of course,
you're not going to say no to that. But realistically, I knew that unless someone sent me, I wasn't going to go.
Now, I will say this: if it was like staying in like a mock-up of the Hall of Justice with something like that for Justice League, I think I would put the $5,000 down.
I don't know that I would. Like
for X-Men.
Yeah, I don't know that I would, and it's honestly because like that $5,000 price tag is a lot, right?
It's
like
insane.
It is insane.
But No, I mean, so did you buy anything at the place?
Mandalorian t-shirt, like a long sleeve Mando t-shirt, basically. I didn't get like I
Nothing
didn't want to
else.
get a droid. No, because we were flying back, so anything we had would have to get on the plane. So
Yeah, so
you're
that's what I will do correctly next time is I will do the droid workshop and get myself a droid. I'll build myself a droid and bring it home.
yeah. See, that would be cool.
That I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
And I would love to do the Savi's lightsaber workshop. But the only problem
Yeah.
is that thing is booked 2 months in advance all the time. Like it
Hmm.
is always booked. There's no cancellations, almost never. They said. So it's like, it's just hard to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, I would love to do it because it's worth it to pay $200. Because here's the thing that I can't figure out. You can go into Savi's workshop, pay $200. You end up with a lightsaber. You end up with a lightsaber after that experience that
Hmm.
you've made. And it is of the same exact quality of the lightsabers in Doc Ondar's. Doc Ondar's start at $275 and up. The cheapest is $275.
And the only difference is that is one that is geared.
Yeah.
Hey, it's based on a character. Well, great.
Yeah,
But
exactly. Screen accurate. But
yeah.
the thing is, like, you're doing one with kyber crystals in the workshop. Most of the that's the one thing I don't like about Hasbro is the Force FX Elite, even the Kenobi one I have, because I got rid of my Cal Kestis. That thing was just so big of a murder weapon.
Yeah.
I have the Kenobi one from Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and I love it. It's so perfect. I just wish it had a kyber crystal. It doesn't. That's the only thing I don't like is it doesn't have a kyber crystal, whereas the Disney Plus ones, I mean Disney, the Disney
Yeah.
shop ones have one. However, their quality isn't as good as it's weird. It's like there's a mix and match. If you want the kyber crystal, get the Disney shop one, the Disney Parks one rather. If you want quality, get the Hasbro because it has like the weight and the heft and like it's more. I don't know. It's like they can't quite get on the same page, or they provide a variety on purpose so that like you maybe buy both. You know what I mean?
Yep, I do.
But did they have Mando helmets there this time?
I didn't look, to be honest.
I was looking like if I go back, I want to see for like a Mando, a Bo-Katan. I just want to like take a look around. I still got to finish Mando. I'm on episode 2 of season 3. I really got to finish Mando.
Same. It's crazy. Like I said to my wife, like I really want to finish watching it, but it's like I'm not for whatever reason.
Yeah, not motivated to. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is. And I'm looking at my Razor Crest right now, which is one of my favorite things I own. And I love season 1. I like adore season 1, and I love season 2 as well. When especially the end when Luke comes back. But it's like I wonder if I should just rewatch season 1. They're only 8 episodes each, so I wonder if I should just rewatch season 1, 2, and 3 because I completely forget, other than Luke coming at the end, what season 2 and everything was about. So I'm like, I maybe want to watch again. I don't know. And eventually I want to see Andor and all that. And then I tried this real ambitious thing while you were gone. I said, I'm going to just start with The Phantom Menace and watch everything Star Wars that exists. I'm 3/4 away through The Phantom Menace.
I don't hate The Phantom Menace.
Honestly, forgot how much I love some of these prequel characters. Like I love Qui-Gon. And it's so weird to look at Ewan McGregor then versus now. Like, man, he looks like a little kid. Even though he was a kid or younger, he looks like a little kid. Like, it's just, I don't know. I think he's gotten better in the role. I'll definitely say that.
Oh, I think he got better in the role even through the first 3 movies.
I agree.
Yeah, like he's significantly better. I mean, the thing is
he's
that
very green in the first one.
Well, absolutely, and I think
green.
I think it worked for the age of the character too.
Yeah.
So I think I have a low key love for the Phantom Menace. Like I think it's an underrated movie. I mean, the thing is, it's actually not that much worse than the original trilogy. It's just people have mythologized and absolutely fallen for the original trilogy. That if you see it now,
Revenge of the Sith is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah,
I fucking love that movie. It's right up there with. To me, it goes
Jedi, Empire, Revenge of the Sith, and then it's interchangeable from there. Because I love Jedi. I think Jedi is I've gone back and forth on this for years. I think Jedi is my favorite, even though I oh no, it's Empire. I think I was just swayed by the cool bias. Like I love Jedi
I
because I'm
think
like, wait, what am I?
Jedi is one of my favorites too.
I fucking love Jedi. I love Endor. I love the land speeders. I love them the speeding around. I love the opening with the sky skip with Boba Fett and the Sarlacc pit. Like I love Slave Leia. I love like Luke and his dad confronting the Emperor at the end. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
The movie, besides the Ewoks, the movie is so great. Like,
I even enjoy the Ewoks, if I'm honest. I
they're
don't.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't hate the Ewoks.
No, I don't hate them. They're okay.
But I'm with you. Like Revenge of the Sith is a much better movie than people tend to shit on the original trilogy. I think the original trilogy definitely starts off weak and then gets stronger.
I agree.
I think it's much like the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy have the same kind of blend of starting off weak and getting stronger.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that unfortunately the sequel trilogy. I'm just talking over Brady.
It's okay, Sacco. Hey, stop. Put that in your mouth. Fuck, Jesus. He's like traumatized. The music stopped and now he's like,
oh, I get it, right? Like I was gonna say I haven't heard it in a while, but
no.
Yeah, so I think that the original trilogy is probably my favorite as a trilogy. I think the sequel trilogy starts off really strong with The Force Awakens and then devolves into the effects are great.
Yeah.
You can't deny the effects are great.
Oh yeah.
I think that after that though it tends to go to a point where it's okay. I like parts of it. Parts of it I don't like. Yeah. I think I truly do think that part of our issue with franchise movies now is that because of social media, you watch the first movie, how many people were speculating on who Rey's parents were, right?
Yeah.
And I think that by the time it got revealed, we'd already gone through what's going to be the best outcome. Her being, the Emperor's offspring is going to be terrible. That's not going to make any sense whatsoever. It's going to be better if she, you know what I mean? We'd already gone through all of the reasons why it wouldn't work. And so when finally you get it revealed, you're like, well, that's dumb.
I like the reveal, though. I honestly do.
I like the fact that realistically her parents were just nobodies, but it just so happened that one of those nobodies was descended from the Emperor. I
like that.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred it being Obi-Wan's kid or her being Obi-Wan's kid.
Oh, that would have been cool. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But because that's one of the theories I've seen. That was the one I liked the most. I'm like, oh, I like that. That's a really good idea. That's what they should do. Obviously, it wasn't what they did. And so my point was, I think that the rampant speculation on social media, and we do it too, right? I'm not saying I'm going to stop doing it, but I think the rampant speculation of movies and what we think is going to happen, and we talk about, oh, they could do this and they could do that, ultimately doesn't benefit the story any, because by that point you're like, well, now what, right?
You built it up in your head, like we saw with fucking very good case in point. We saw with Multiverse of Madness, man.
Yeah,
we got so pumped with all the possibilities and things that could occur, and then it was like, oh, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, it wasn't a bad movie. It just wasn't it wasn't as good as we expected it to be based on the expectations we had built ourselves, right? Based on the fact that we'd way overbooked it. We thought, well, if they have these people in it, who else is going to be there? Another version of Doctor Strange.
Yeah, this was the one time we needed like Andrew Garfield to have like a "I'm not the werewolf" situation and it be real.
Yeah.
Because we're like, we don't believe you. They wouldn't be stupid enough to blow their load with Professor X during the Super Bowl commercial. Yep, they sure were.
Yep.
Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Not only
Like,
but in the yeah, it's just
like the best part about, and I was talking about this with some folks in the comic shop on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
They said that, he said that, yeah, I watched No Way Home out of the theater by myself, and he said it's so awkwardly paced, like you can tell that it's designed for audiences to react.
I didn't know that.
I mean, like, and you know, I can see it, because every so often you get, like, when Andrew Garfield shows up, there's just this, the pause is a little bit more awkward than it needs to be, right?
Right.
And then you get Toby showing up, and it's a little bit more awkward than it needs to be, because they're letting people absorb the fact that this is this is who they are.
Once you've seen it the first time, that magic goes away. So like when they're rewatches, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't, honestly, I own it on Blu-ray, deluxe edition. I haven't watched it out of the theater, and I saw it in the theater 3 times.
Yeah.
So that's always been a goal, was to rewatch it.
It's
I gotta rewatch it too.
I said to the guy that I was talking to, I said, look, if I'm honest, No Way Home is the best theater experience I've ever had. Bar none.
Far.
It is the best theater experience I've ever had.
Yeah, I don't know if I lucked out with a good audience or whatever, but it was by far the best.
That's the same thing. Like, I definitely had a good audience. We were all like, you know, he shows up on screen. There's cheering around. People are really happy, and then there's almost immediate silence when they start talking again, right? Like, and I was lucky enough to see it when you weren't 100% sure if Andrew Garfield was actually going to be in the movie.
Yeah, you were like, is this going to happen?
Is he the werewolf, or is he not the werewolf? Like, you weren't 100% sure if he was going to be in the movie, and so when he shows up, you're like, well, holy shit.
Oh, yeah, blew your mind.
Yeah.
You're like, they fucking did it. Those crazy bastards.
Not only did they do it, but he kept it secret.
Well, yeah, as secret as he could, but yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like, and you know what's funny, too, is like he straight out lied. Like, lied.
I know.
Like, but the fans still forgave him. They're like, we'll forgive you because we understand. Yeah.
We actually preferred him to have lied to us. Right? Like, him lying made the movie that much better. Like, that reveal so much better.
Yeah. So speaking of the movies, and that's a good segue. We've talked Star Wars this whole time. I guess Jonathan Majors is officially getting recast as Kang. Did you see that?
Interesting. No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they're officially doing it. And it's ironic too, because Quantumania just came on Disney Plus like a day.
I did see that. I need to watch that.
Yeah, they're recasting him. And you know what? You know what sucks? When you go see Guardians, I want you to tell me how great of a Kang this guy would have been.
Yeah.
This guy would have been fucking perfect as Kang. Perfect. I'm like, damn. If you knew what you knew about Jonathan Majors then, like, you should have just slotted this dude in the role. He would have been perfect. Not to say Jonathan Majors was not great. He was really good as Kang. I really like him as Kang a lot. But, like, it's like Saturday morning cartoon villain versus real life menacing villain with the high evolutionary. It is crazy. Like, I was watching it, and some parents were uncomfortable with their kids because, like, some of it was so dark. Like, James Gunn did not shy away from, being dark stuff, and also language too. He didn't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, it's probably his last Marvel movie, right?
It is. But you know what? It also gave me hope is. So basically, I selfishly watched Adam Warlock just to get an idea of how he would handle Superman, like in flight and stuff. So I was like, all right, how would this cinematography look and this and that? Like, because that's the only thing I enjoyed about Adam Warlock. I hated the costume. I wish it was more traditional. I mean, it didn't have to be hokey, but it just was too much of like a space uniform. And I like the kid who plays him, Adam Warlock, but they played him like a mama's boy. And I'm like, the fuck? Like, he's one of the
He's
most
not.
powerful beings in
Yeah.
the universe. And then everyone's like, oh, maybe we'll get Magus out of it. I hope not if Will Poulter's doing it. Like, I want a different person. Because Magus is supposed to be like the flip side of Adam Warlock, who's even worse than Adam Warlock. Like, I don't know. It just, the movie is spectacular. It is, maybe it's recency bias, but I would say it's in my definite top 10 of Marvel movies. It might even crack my top 5. It's so good. We should do a
I was gonna say we need to do a relisting soon of said Marvel movies, because it's been a long time since we've done it. A long time.
It's been like 3 or 4 years, maybe even longer, maybe 5.
Yeah. And so I think what we would want to do, and then we're talking now about something that we'll do next episode or shortly thereafter, but we'd almost want to do a movie and TV, and then do a combined top 5 as to what you enjoyed the most.
Yeah. So, like, I know unequivocally, there's no question that no doubt in my mind still holds up the test of time, is Endgame would be number 1 for me. Yeah. Endgame is just something I've never seen on screen. I don't think we'll ever get that magnitude again, because you only get like one time for it to be the first time for that kind of thing.
Agreed.
So even if DC does it with Crisis or whatever, it will never match the feel of Endgame.
And I think that's interesting, because I'm with you, right? Like, Endgame was great. Oh, I think in many ways it's ruined what you can do with superhero movies.
I think so. Yeah.
Right. Like, and I was deliberately changing the subject because I know what we're like. We're like, oh, we'll do this next episode, and then just start doing it anyway. But yeah, like Endgame, I think definitely ruined what you could do with superhero movies, because after that, there's not a lot you can do in terms of adding scale.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't want. That's why Guardians was so big in scope as far as vision, but as in story, it was very self-contained, which is very gratifying. But man, James Gunn just has fun with the creativity and the set pieces, especially when you go to like Counter Earth and stuff. Dude, you could just tell how much he loved this property working on it. And I wouldn't be surprised if most of them don't follow him to Warner Brothers for DC properties. There's just no way. I think he's taking
I'm sure. I'm sure that there's going to be some kind of following like that.
Like, do you know what I would love to see? So I don't know if you even read DC comics anymore.
Yeah, not as much as I probably should.
So they rebooted it again with the dawn of the DC, with Nightwing being like the hero of all heroes and everything, which I'm very okay with because I love Dick Grayson. So the big bad next time is not anyone that I love this idea. I really do. And I think that's what James Gunn said he's going to shoot for, something along these lines. So basically they saved the world from Slade with the Crisis and everything, and bring all the Justice League back from the dead, because they were dead for like, I don't know, 6 months or something in this story. And they bring them all back, and everyone's happy. It's a utopia. The Justice League disbands. The Justice League unanimously picks Nightwing as the leader of the new Justice League, but Nightwing declines. And he says, no, I've never been the leader of the Justice League. They say, well, we have to have Earth's protectors. We have no choice. You've got to be somebody. And he goes, I already got a team. And it's the Titans are now the forefront of the DC universe. And I love it because it's the original core with a couple new members, but it's Dick Grayson leads the charge. And like Superman and Batman basically go off and do their own thing. And they're like, you know what? The world's in good hands. We trust nobody better than Dick Grayson. So we're cool with it, right? And I know you're getting a little bit of weird because I'm outside. But what happens is, on the flip side, Amanda Waller is bullshit. She's like, we almost just got annihilated by the world, by Slade and all these other otherworldly forces, and these demonic energies and stuff. She's like, these heroes go out and they do press conferences and they smile and they hug and whatever. She's like, they don't have the guts to do what it takes to really save the earth. She's like, what happens next time a real threat comes that you can't fight with optimism? She's like, I want deadly force. And she's like, I want to kill the entire Justice League one by one. So she goes to the Council of Light. I don't know if you ever saw the what's it called, the Titans cartoon. You hear this chick singing downstairs? It's ridiculous. Fucking Coachella.
I
She's
can't
off
hear.
key. Oh, she's off key. But anyways, so the Council of Light existed in was it Teen Titans or Young Justice? I'm sorry, the Young Justice cartoon, which is a brilliant cartoon, by the way, if you ever get a chance to watch it. So the Council of Light exists of like certain people, throughout the DC universe that are in like it's kind of like what Nick Fury was talking to at the end of Avengers 1.
Mm.
When he gets their permission, and they're like, "We didn't give you permission." He's like, "I didn't ask." It's like that group that decides everything.
Yep.
Brady, stop. I know she sucks singing, but go this way, buddy. So that's what happens. She gets permission from the Council of Light, and so basically, Amanda Waller takes like the worst. Like, picture the Suicide Squad times 10. She's like, I'm not even going to deal with the Suicide Squad now. She's like, I need like something better than the Suicide Squad. So she gets like the most vicious criminals and says, you guys will get a pardon if you kill one hero each. And like, that's the story going forward right now. That's like a new epic. Brady, come on. We can't have you doing this. So I like that idea because it's not a new, like, ancient force that's coming from the Earth or from outer space, or like the Anti-Monitor revived for the 10th time, or Darkseid. I love the idea of Amanda Waller being like, you know what? They saved us, but fuck them.
Yeah.
What if they don't save us next time?
That's just it. Like, it's actually something different.
Compelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's compelling. And everyone's like, oh no, it's just Amanda Waller with the Suicide Squad. Yeah, but on like the biggest, grandest scale you can imagine. It's kind of like what Tony Stark did in Avengers: Age of Ultron when he said, I want a suit of armor around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what she's trying to do. And she executes one of the villains in the first issue. Like, they're talking, they're like, oh, we're not going to listen to you, Waller. And guys like, you're just a lady. Who are you? Because they think she's just like a short lady. And she just freaking takes the gun out of his hands. Remember, she's military. I think it's Copperhead. She takes the gun, like one motion, like flips it around, points it at his head, blows his brains all over the wall. And she's like, okay, anyone else got an issue? And everyone's like, nope, we're under you.
Yeah.
Like, I just like it because I love him. The character of Amanda Waller is a great character when she's done right. And I like how they're not going. They've done the Suicide Squad, which is like the movies and Harley Quinn and, the ragtag team. We don't need that anymore. She's like, I don't need the Suicide Squad. I think they're like the Suicide Squadron or something. I forget what it is. But she's like, no. She's like, every one of you, bring me one hero each dead. So, they're not going to kill many of them. But I guarantee you there's going to be at least a few big DC names that get killed. I have a feeling. I don't think it'll be Batman or Superman.
No, I think you're right. There's definitely going to be at least one or two, if not an A-lister or a B-lister.
Right. Exactly. That's what I think will happen.
Yeah.
And so, I think it's cool. You should read it. Batman, I don't know if you got a chance. So we're jumping all over the place here, but I figure we'll touch on things quick. Batman 135. Did you get a chance to finally read that?
No, not yet. I am so behind on Batman.
So how far are you? Did you finish Failsafe?
Yes. I haven't gone past that, I think.
Okay, you haven't. All right. So you're not on like that weird Counter Earth that Bruce gets deported to?
Yeah, so I got to that point. Like, I read the first issue of that, and then after that I didn't go any further.
So the whole series sucks except the end. And basically Batman 89 is canon in the DC the DC universe. And they revived Jack Nicholson's Joker.
Fair enough.
Yep. I figured I'd just go for it.
Yeah.
We probably won't get to it for months. Yeah.
No, by the time I actually get to it, I'm gonna forget that anyway.
Yeah. My dog is so upset right now. I know, buddy. I know. She's mean. She slams doors too. That's another thing she loves to do. She freaking goes in and out, and yeah, you can hear it underneath me. My floor just shook. She slams it.
Jesus.
All she does is play music and fight with her boyfriend every freaking day. Like, it's insane. But yeah, so that's comic book news. Other than, did we talk on camera about the Marvel news? I think we talked off camera, right?
I honestly don't know.
I don't know either, but anyways. So I mean, for comics, I'm good.
Yeah, same.
Let's see what we're looking for like TV. Oh, there's a lot of movies coming. Like
I
in
know,
2 weeks, we got Spider-Man.
Into the
Across
Spider-Verse, Edge of Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, same. I'm. It's one of those things that because I haven't had a cinema for so
Yeah.
long, I've completely stopped tracking what was and wasn't coming because I'm like
Right.
I'm not going to see anything. It doesn't really matter right now. And then all
Yeah.
of a sudden it's there. I'm like, oh shit.
And then the Big Daddy in 3 weeks, which that's probably how I'll spend my weekend that weekend. It's just like going in and out like a revolving door, just like ticket, please, thank you, please, just like
Yeah.
walking back to back episode.
I'll go. Yep, go again.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait. I can't wait for that. And then after that is you got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, I know.
August. That was good.
Mm.
They have a lot of good stuff coming out. What's next on Disney Plus? Not Ahsoka, because we just had Star Wars, right?
So
No, we didn't have Star Wars, do we?
I don't know if it's
Mandalorian, dude. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I can't even keep up.
Yeah, like I think that's actually why I'm glad that we haven't had as much this year because it's taken a while to catch up with everything. Like I haven't watched Andor. I don't know if I will be watching Andor.
I will eventually. I have to finish Mando first, though.
Yeah, I will eventually, but I'm not rushing to it because I think that when it comes to Star Wars, my favorite era is the Return of the Jedi thing, and anything that happens like around that time. So,
and that's why Mando hits me so well, is because it's everything about Star Wars that's my favorite, and it's in an ongoing series. Yeah, Andor would be like, when was it? It would be prior to New Hope.
Yeah, Andor is prior to Rogue One, right?
That's right. It's prior to Rogue One, which I adore Rogue One. I do. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see. I know Secret Invasion's coming this summer. Or is it Loki? No, Secret Invasion's
coming, yeah.
They just wrapped Loki. Loki's the fall. We get Loki in the fall.
Yeah.
And that's all we get this year, Kevin Feige said, for Disney Plus. He's only doing 2 this year.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
No. Considering how rushed and everything was previously.
Yeah, I think people need time to redigest and just I've said it before, we need time to miss things.
We do.
Right?
Agreed.
You need to be able to, like, you know what? I missed that. Where's that now? Like, you need time to be able to actually miss what's there. Because if you don't miss it, then you just take it for granted. Oh, I've got this coming out. Oh, this is coming out. Wait, why don't I have this?
Yeah. So X-Men 97 was supposed to be the fall, but I guess it's going to be spring of next year. But it's weird because did you see the role play item that came out for Marvel Legends?
Like the Magneto helmet.
But it's straight from X-Men 97, right on the logo.
Yeah. Which is
so I'm like, are we going to get X-Men 97 figures? It does.
I expect so.
Yeah. So speaking of Marvel Legends, we haven't talked toys in 3 weeks only because we haven't had a show. But we haven't talked toys in a while. A couple weeks, a couple shows. I figure we can talk a little bit.
Yeah.
So I ordered this week. I pre-ordered the Green Goblin and Mary Jane 2-pack for the retro for the animated series.
Nice.
I was very happy for that. I know the UK is starting to get the what's it called? The Spider-Man retro / Spider-Man new series on the Blizzard card.
Every time I look at that wave, the chasm.
Yeah. The chasm looks fine. I'm fine.
Chasm looks fine. Like, but that wave, like Chasm is the only one that looks halfway decent. I love the look of Elektra. I shouldn't say Chasm. Like, I love the look of Elektra. Chasm looks decent. I like the Rose. The Rose looks fun.
Yep.
But between the price of them and then the lack of what you get with it,
agreed.
I'm looking at thinking like, I don't know if I need these anymore. Like I don't. None of these are characters I have to have. I've got the Spider-Man that I want on the Spider-Man body, on that body. I don't need another Ben Reilly Spider-Man because I have
that head is actually that bad in hand. I saw it on someone's review.
yeah, like
big head, man. What were they thinking?
And that's just it. Like if I could get Chasm, but I don't really like. If I find him cheap, maybe.
I have to get Chasm. I'm getting him.
But,
I just like Chasm.
Yeah, and that's just it. That's fine, right? Like if you like it, go for it. But for me, I'm looking at like this isn't really the era of Spider-Man that I'm going for. So I could miss that entire wave and not feel bad about it.
No, my big release for Spider-Man this year, besides Mary Jane and Green Goblin, which I'll give it to him. Norman Osborn does look like he's in drag. They went really heavy on the face painting. I don't know what's up with that. Hopefully he doesn't look like that in hand, but I think he's gonna. Is for me is the Mafex Scarlet Spider that should be out in about 2 months. Like I am so ready for that. Now I just want a Mafex Kane from the Clone Saga. Hell, I want a Marvel Legends Kane from the Clone Saga.
That's the one that I want the most is Kane from the Clone Saga.
Yep, by far. I'm starting to go back now because the Mafex figures are starting to become more reasonable. And so up next, I already paid for my Nightwing. My Nightwing's going to be shipping soon. I'm so excited to have Nightwing, like the quintessential perfect Nightwing. I'm so excited. But Magneto's next on the Mafex docket for me. The regular 616 Magneto.
Yep.
He should be out within a week or two. So he's good. So I have Gambit, Wolverine, Cyclops, and I'll have Magneto. So I'm like, well, these are going to be my quintessential X-Men. So I might as well go back and get Jean because Jean is just lingering around and she either goes on sale for like $20 off or stays at price. Like, I'm going to grab Jean. I'm not so fussed with Storm. Everyone's like raving about how much better she is than the Marvel Legends. Like, yeah, it's $100. It should be, but I don't know. There's just something about it that just doesn't grab me that much.
Yeah.
But if they do a Rogue, I'm fucking all over it because the Gambit is the best Mafex figure. Probably one of the top 10 action figures I own is that Gambit. He's just almost
perfect. The Gambit looks phenomenal.
Oh, he's so good. So, I mean, that's what I like about Mafex is they come out so infrequently that if you were to only collect Mafex, you're good. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to get whammed in the wallet. Like Marvel Legends, I only have how many things I have on pre-order? I have Aunt May and Doc Ock. I have Mary Jane and Green Goblin. I have Hawkeye and the Sky Cycle, and then I have the Hulk and Banner 2-pack. Like that's it because everything else I'll come across in Target or the stores. Like I came across the whole Guardians wave very, very quick. But I was like, do I really want these? Or do I just want them because I saw the movie? And it's been a couple of weeks, and I'm like, you know what? I could do without them right now. Like, I love the Guardians.
I think that's what's so crazy is that we're at the point now where like I don't really need this. I think I'm gonna give this one a pass. Right?
Yeah,
like,
and I was able to say that 2 years ago. I was like, oh, I need it.
Or even I have to have it. Like you think you have to have something when you don't really need it.
Like the only thing I passed on back then was Spy Master.
Yeah.
And I passed on the Black Widow wave, essentially. I got Natasha in the deluxe, and then everything else I passed on because it just didn't grab me. But everything else before then, if it was a Marvel Legends release, I ordered it. Like I was on top of it. So it's just, there's just so much to collect and it hasn't slowed down. Like it's ramping up more and more each year, which is nuts. I think Hasbro's going to do themselves a really big favor, though, getting rid of the plastic-free packaging and bringing back the plastic packaging.
I think so, because I've seen so many people say, hey, look, like on Reddit, hey, I ordered this, and now look what I got instead. And it's like 4 of the figures in the pack, and then there's some rocks in it. And if you're lucky, you're getting the same figures that should be in the pack.
Or like, dish liquid or something. Like I've seen that one. So what would you want them to bring back? What would you want their new packaging? Because like Marvel Legends can't just go back to the old previous packaging, like that diamond shaped box or whatever that octagon.
Whatever it was. Like, I think
Like,
if you
go
get,
back to, you need something different.
if you're gonna do it, I would do it like, if your whole thing is less plastic, have the window so it's literally like just the chest of the figure or something, so that
No, they use the whole thing. They're going back to the plastic thing.
Yeah.
So my
I
whole
would-
thing is like, do you do blister cards for everything?
I don't think you can do blister cards for everything, because I think if you do that, then
That's true.
actually no. You know what? If I was Hasbro, I would do blister cards for everything.
Yeah.
Because if people want to have a mint in box one, they're going to have to buy one. But if they want to also display it, you're not going to be able to carefully open up the packaging.
Yeah.
So that would encourage people to buy two, so you could keep one on the card and one not on the card.
I would do blister packaging, my perfect ideal thing. So here's the thing though. It does kind of take the luster away from the retro packaging because those are so special. But if you
Agreed.
were to do a form of blister packaging, it doesn't have to be that big oversized blister packaging like the retro is beautiful. You were going to do like maybe a slender version of blister packaging. Like do the slender Marvel Legends box, but do it on blister packaging. Just do a slender version of it for the regular releases. And I would either include a trading card like Todd McFarlane does, but like I'd get an artist who's dedicated to just the trading cards for the figures. Like I'd get a Joe Jusko, or I'd get like, somebody to that effect where it feels like Marvel Legends masterpieces in with your packaging.
Yeah.
Like the cards would be collectible, they would look premium, and you would have artwork on the box. No more renderings of any shit ever. Like get rid of renderings. Just put if you have the figure in window, you don't need a render of anything. You don't even need video. You don't even need what's it called? Photography of the figure on the back. Why? You got the window. Put artwork. Do something different. Stand out. I would do slender blister packaging though. Like
that's actually a good idea.
It would be like, how Masters of the Universe Origins width of the packaging? It would just be taller. That's all.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. And that way it's wall friendly. People can stack them. You can create it. I don't know. I would do that. Like, because Todd McFarlane's basically, if you see his new page punchers, it's just an entire clear plastic bubble on a piece of cardboard. He did like even underneath is clear. Like every fucking part of it is clear. He's just like, oh, you guys want plastic? Boom. Here's the environment.
Yeah. Here you go. Here's plastic.
Oh my God. I love it. Fucking. And, I'm still looking for, because I'm looking over at a Masterverse figure right now. I have not come across him in the wild, but I'm looking for Man-at-Arms.
Oh,
if I see him in Target, I'm gonna grab both for us.
Perfect, thank you. Yeah, like it's crazy that I still haven't found him. I mean, I know he's Target exclusive, so it's going to be difficult to find him up here. But
well, he's GameStop for you then, right?
He should be, yeah. But sometimes GameStop doesn't get everything. Yeah, sometimes they don't always get it in right away, so you're left kind of trying to catch the when it does come in, and if they don't restock after he comes in, then you're kind of SOL.
Where is there a Toys R Us near you?
Oh, it's I could walk to it easily enough.
Oh, is that close?
Oh yeah, it's not far.
Oh, I'm so jealous that you could walk to it. That's amazing.
I mean, bear in mind, like it's like it'd be like a 20-minute walk, but you could walk to it easily enough.
Still, that's pretty awesome. Yeah. So I mean, I just can't find him here yet. I know he's hitting targets because I see people online, like all the videos of people getting them. But when he goes up on the site, he's there for like a few moments and he's gone. And I'm always on a meeting or something. Somehow I just don't catch it. And I'm like, all right, but it's Masterverse. I learned my lesson because I went crazy with our, Galaxy He-Man, New Adventures of He-Man. And now I trip over that guy anytime I walk in the store. There's like piles of them.
Yeah, like that's just it. Like eventually they'll come back and you'll find it. It's it's not like a Legend where you won't, if you don't get it immediately, you're probably not going to get it in store. So
yeah, because like I don't want to pay the Target shipping. Like that's the only reason.
No, God no.
But if Skeletor goes, I got to get Skeletor for us. Like, I'm not fucking with Skeletor because I have a feeling, like, as hard as Man at Arms is, Skeletor is going to be really tough.
100%. I agree with that.
Very desirable. So, yeah, that's that for those toys. Anything you want to touch upon?
No, I don't necessarily think that there is.
You hear the music go back on? It's probably a good time. Oh my God, you hear that?
I did hear that, yeah.
Dude, it's shaking my couch.
Jesus.
My ass is vibrating.
Yeah.
I hate this girl.
That is not fun, man. That is not cool.
Listen to that. Yeah, that's a good place for us to end because I gotta take a shower and head out anyway. Otherwise, I'm gonna be,
Fair.
not be able to be a show host for murder.
That is fair. That is fair. Well, folks, hopefully you didn't hear too much of the music. If we can cut it out, we'll try. Or I'll try, but there's no guarantees.
Bear with us, folks. I apologize. I have no control over it.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know, life is what it is. I think even in a soundproof room, you would still hear that through the floor. So there's not a lot we can do. We have no final thoughts because if we did, we'd keep going. And I feel like we're at the point now. We've got a good ending point. So yeah, I don't want to be the person that says if you've listened to us on Spotify or anything, leave us a review or whatever, because that's just not what we do.
It's not what we do. If you enjoy us on any platform, let us know that you enjoy us, but we're not here to get likes and clicks and all that. It's never what we've done.
No, we're going to keep doing this anyway.
Yep.
If you enjoy us, come along. We'll yeah. I mean that's the end of it. So
safe journey.
Fair play. Yeah. That's a really awkward ending.
Sorry.
That's fine. You think we
Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.